Oh. Okay, so I think we're all set, and then I'll record this just in case. All right. Okay, so we're all set. We're going to start in the chair. Just finding a nice, oh, that's really weird. Okay, great. All right, so relaxing into your seat here. We're just going to start off with finding a nice release through the sits bones into the seat. You can also do this on the floor, of course, if you want to. I'm just figuring out my view. I have to move you guys back a little bit. Okay, so with your feet, try to come out a little bit on the floor, a little bit forward or a little bit diagonally away, so that you feel that you're dropping into your sits bones a little bit more, so that more of your body weight is relying into the sits bones and into that plumb line. And we're just gonna check out through the front of the hips here with your hands and take a little bit of a shifting forward and back. We're just doing a little tilting forward and back, relaxing in the hip sockets, feeling that softness in the front of the hips. We want to try to let that go and then come back into the sits bones, trying to keep that softness as much as you can. And then just relaxing the arms, relaxing the shoulders, and then letting the breath drop down into the base of your spine. So we're going to close the eyes, feeling a sense of softness through the jaw and the chin, through the shoulders, feeling that there's some space between the shoulder blades, through the upper back, nice and long, and release through the lower back, the lumbar spine, through the sacrum into your seat. And we're just going to focus on the breath to start focusing internally, letting go of any external thoughts and tensions. And then very gently opening the eyes and taking the palms together. Let's bring the breath up into the palms, relaxing the fingers, creating some heat and friction in between the hands here. Still focusing on your breath. And then we're just going to gently separate the palms and feeling that nice buzz in between the palms floating out into the space around you. So we're just going to start to breathe and expand. All right, so go ahead and breathe and expand. I'm just going to fix a setting here. For some reason, it is highlighted on Johanna. I'm going to pin myself and see if that helps. Okay, there we go. So we're feeling a sense of breathing through the back of the body, feeling that sense of expanding into the room by opening and releasing through the back of the body. Feeling a sense of breath through the sternum, starting to explore all of the space you have to move around into. Feeling a connection in every direction, up above, down below, around the sides and behind. And then we're going to reach out, gathering energy through the palms from the space around, letting the breath come in through the palms, and just taking the palms over the face, breathing and washing that around the eyes, over the face, finding a sense of just letting go through the face, of softening, releasing, relaxing, a sense of calm. And then we're going to take our fingertips into the brow bone, breathing out and just pressing from the inside to the outside, massaging, a nice little lift up into the hairline, So we're going to exhale. Breathing out as we carve that space open from the center all the way through and out. And then we're taking our index fingers here, going underneath the eyes, breathing out and carving through the orbital bone, through the sinus cavities, and just feeling that sense of calm and release flushing through the face, opening through the center of the face. And then taking our fingertips onto the forehead, scrubbing up and down, breathing out, moving the skin, moving the lymph around, letting go of any tension and tightness. And then coming around to the outside of the eyes, the temples, very lightly massaging around, very light circular massage here. And then going right ahead into making your way down, relaxing your jaw and massaging in between the upper and lower jaw. So we're digging our fingers in there a little bit more. So we are able to press in and explore. So you really want to look for spots of tension to release into, breathing into that, letting your jaw and chin relax. And then we're going to come up around the ears into the scalp, scrubbing and lifting up away from the ears, breathing into it. And then making our way back around the ears towards the back of the head, breathing into that nice lift back here. And then coming around right at the bottom of the head where the top of the spine comes in, the occipital. And we're just going to find that little groove there and breathe and massage that open, finding some space between the head and the neck, going out to the sides a little bit wider towards your ears. And then coming back in very close to the spine, taking some nice deep circular massage from the top of the neck, working our way down through the back of the neck, breathing and just peeling tension away from the spine, through the sides there. Coming all the way down to the tops of the shoulders. We're going to dig our fingers back into the trucks over the top, breathe out and draw forward, pulling the tension away and shaking it off. And again, going back, exhale, shaking it off. And again, breathing out. And then we're going to interlace our fingers from the base of the spine, take a nice yawn all the way through and up, feeling a sense of lifting and wiggling up through the spine, releasing any tension, peeling anything that's tight away from the top of the hips, feeling that the spine separates from the pelvis with the breath. And then if you're on the floor, you can just stay there. You can bring your feet a little bit wider in the chair. We're going to keep the fingers interlaced, dropping the arms down, and then just breathing into the side ribs. Inhale through the side ribs, wide bent elbows, feeling the breath wash through the front of the chest and over to the other side, rounding your tail under to come forward and down. Inhale through the side and up and over. Exhale, breathing, releasing your head, neck, and shoulders to breathe into the upper back. And again, inhale up and over and coming forward, around and down. We're going to let the breath come in through the top. Take a nice little pause here and then change to the other side and forward and around. As you inhale, feel the space between the ribs. Breathe open and exhale over and forward and around. Inhale through the side and up. And going over, exhale, and forward, and around. Inhale through the side and breathing from the base of the spine, reaching up, opening, feeling the chest nice and open as the arms float open around and down. Good. Okay, so now you can keep your legs out. If you want to stay in your chair, you can just bring your legs a little bit further out. I'm actually going to go onto the floor today, but I will talk you through this. Okay, so now just sitting on the floor with your legs lengthened out in front. We're just going to relax back into the palms, whether you're in the chair or sitting, and just take a nice little shake with the legs, breathing out along the floor, or breathing through the backs of the knees in either position. So we're going to inhale, bend one knee, exhale, feel your heel glide away and drop the knee long. Inhale, knee comes up, and exhale, release the other leg. So we're just alternating one leg at a time, flushing from the heel to open behind the knee. And if you're sitting in a chair, you're starting with bent knees. One leg is straight at a time. And up, and release, and up, and release. So keeping your legs in a comfortable long position, let's just come around and hang the body over the legs, relaxing through the head, relaxing through the upper back. We're going to breathe out through the nose and just drop the head as we exhale, breathing out through the crown of the head, finding a nice release through the lower back, feeling that the arms are just hanging, letting go. And then just hanging there, breathing out, start to sway your head from one side to the other, feeling that sense of breath through the sides of the vertebrae, feeling a very gentle movement and weight shift from one sitting bone to the other, feeling the breath through the back of the ribs, especially through the bottom of the back ribs, breathing them open and breathing them open. And if you're in the chair, just stay there. And if you're on the floor, we're going to pick one hip up and walk backwards. So haven't figured out how to do this one in the chair yet, but breathing into the sacrum and just dragging your leg along the floor, walking back and shifting from one hip to the other. And then we're going to lift the hip up and walk forward and just drop the leg down and out along the floor. So there's a little bit of a shuffle to release through the back of the knee, breathing out and release. And then just hanging over at the end, letting go, feeling the breath come in and up through your abdomen. So your abdomen breathes and lifts in and up along the spine, rolling all the way through and up. Keeping that connection even through the low belly as you come all the way up. And then just keeping the legs out, taking your fists behind into your sacrum. And we're just going to drum into the sacrum, breathing into the lower back, going around the sides a little bit here into your glutes. And nice and loose with your hands here too. So letting the momentum build. Working up the back sides of the spine towards your kidneys, and then making our way back down again. And then we're going to take both hands right into the sides of the hips here a little bit. So we're just getting that nice bouncing off, releasing into the trochanters. And then we'll take one hand at a time going around the back of the hip a little bit more. So we're just flushing from the back and through, flushing any tension and tightness down and out through the feet, letting go of any external holding here, using your breath to do that. And then we'll take the heels of the hands up around the sides of the legs, nice circular, relaxed palm, fluffy type motion. We're gonna go down the sides of the legs, following the IT band lines. Relax your muscles and really let them shake off the bone here. So we really want a good release there manually. You're doing this, you're helping your body let go here a little bit, using your breath when you feel a little stuck. And then we're going to end up right up above the knees where the quads attach into your knees. And we're just kind of fluffing up around there, releasing tension, go around the tops and to the inside. So you can kind of rotate your legs a little bit to help. And then come back through center, and then fingertips on the kneecaps. We're just dropping down into the kneecaps, feeling a nice vibration into the bones, breathing out, and then traveling that vibration down the shin bones, all the way to the ankles. And back up the shins again, breathing into the bones. And then we're just gonna come back a little using the heels of the hands, flushing through the top quads here, down and out from the hips all the way to the knees. Breathing and getting all around through the sides and the top and a little bit through the inside line there. And then you can bend your knees and hang forward and just bring your feet apart a little bit if you're in the chair. And on the floor, we're just going to take a nice fluffing around the outside of the shin bones. So this is loosening up through the peroneals a little bit, getting a good flush down through the lower leg, releasing tension there. Letting the palms be nice and loose as you're doing this. And then we're going to come back. So bringing the feet a little closer, letting the knees open out to the sides, just relaxing in whatever position. We're going to use the top of the palm and go through the inner thigh line. So this is the adductor line of the leg from the hips. And we're just releasing in a downward motion, letting that flesh come through. And again, we really want to relax the muscles and let them shake off the bone. Go down the inner thigh line towards your knees, letting that soften up. And then I'll do the chair version in just a second. If you're on the floor, just going to gently flex your feet to slightly engage the calves, breathing out and dropping into your calves. So just keep doing this if you're on the floor, breathing out and dropping. You can go lighter if you're really sore. It actually feels really good to go lighter too. And if you're in your chair, you can gently hold one foot up and go from both sides. So this actually feels quite good in either position. And then changing to the other side. Try to keep your calf muscle nice and relaxed here. And then we're going to come back and just shake the legs out along the floor again. And then we're going to come back into where you're comfortable with your feet and just sitting upright wherever your feet are relaxed, lifting through the chest. And breathing through the palms, a nice circular massage around the top side ribs here. Breathing nice and wide, becoming very aware of all of the side space you have in your body. Breathing through the waist area and then flushing all throughout the abdominal cavity here, waking up the organs, the abdomen that protects the organs, coming around. And then we'll come down into the groin area. So right into the front hips here where we have lots of lymph. And we're just gonna flush that through, waking that up. And then coming in right into the center of the chest, the breastplate, feeling the cartilage here and just taking a little scrubbing up and down motion. Let your breath go as you're doing this. Try to feel your jaw and your chin relax a little bit here too. And then take some nice long strokes from the ribs down through the pelvis and around the side. So we're getting up underneath the ribs a little bit. And around through the center, over to the other side, breathing under the ribs. And then coming back through center, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms to just hang. And we're going to take the opposite hand to massage right into the front of the shoulder, breathing out and relaxing your head over to the side and just opening that space into the front of the shoulder. You can take some gentle movement through the head here, whatever feels good to do for you, relaxing, unraveling through the neck. And then coming around to the other side. And of course, lots of lymph in these areas too, flushing things through and just, invigorating the lymphatic system a bit, breathing through that, hanging with the head, and letting that movement come through if that feels good. And then using the breath, we're going to take the opposite palm to drop up and over the shoulder, feeling that you're knocking some breath and release into your upper back and shoulders. And your head is just very gently moving off to the side. So you're not trying to make a big thing out of the head motion. You're just literally getting out of the way with your head, but feeling that you're focusing on the shoulder, on the breath through the palm, and just letting you let go of those upper shoulders, the traps a little bit more. And then we're going to let the tail release under, let the breath come in through each little vertebrae. We're going to inhale through the spine to come up. We're going to exhale, release the arms, just throwing them down and out, and then release and come through and up again. Inhale, gathering into the spine to lift, and release. So we're releasing the arms, but feeling the length maintained into the spine. Inhale up, and let it go. And now we're just going to shake it out. Shake out through the shoulders, release the head, getting a really good shake, releasing off the bone again, releasing elbows and wrists and fingers all the way down into the palms. So we're trying to get that nice fuzzy feeling, shaking out all the tension in the forearms. And then once we've gotten that nice and fuzzy, we're going to interlace the fingers and just take the palms, compress and release, breathing into it. You can take a little bit of a shearing motion, a little forward and back, just feeling that the webbing between, the space between your fingers opens a little bit with your breath. And then relaxing through the wrists, we're just going to gently glide around. Try to relax your shoulders and feel that your shoulders are not attached to this release through your wrists and your palms, letting the breath go. Then we're going to reverse it, coming back the other way. Try to notice the shoulders and breathe into them, letting yourself release and rely on the release of the breath. And then we're going to separate, open and close, open and close. So now I kind of reverse that. I did reverse that today. So now we're going to go into the breath. Feel that the exhale breath through the sternum, it's like your sternum pops open a little bit with your exhale. Go through each little finger. We're wiggling the finger away from the palm, and the breath through the sternum opens through the arms. So it's not the arms pulling, it's the release coming through the arms from the center. You can think of this coming from your heart level, if that connects more for you. So there's just that sense of letting the center of the chest open with your breath and feeling how that frees up the movement through your arms. And going through the other side, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. So we're literally breathing from that deep inside center of the chest, letting that space open. And we'll do this one more time, interlacing the fingers and let it go. See if that's any different. Letting the breath go. And then we'll reverse that again. Try to find your release all around. And then opening and closing, feeling the space between the fingers a little bit more this time. So we're going to let the breath come in, expanding our body out into space to open. We're going to exhale, squeeze the breath out through the low belly, squeeze through the fingertips, the toes, the eyes. We're squeezing out anything negative, anything we don't need anymore, squeezing it out with the breath. As the breath comes in, feel light and expansive, floating. And squeezing out again. Expanding to open, feeling very light. And one more time, exhale, squeezing out anything you don't need or want anymore, compressing it through the end points and pushing it out of your body with your breath. And feeling nice and light, expanding on the inhale. On this last one, we're going to exhale, but gather light new energy through the fingertips and toes, drawing that into your center through the nerve lines, using the breath. And just letting go of anything that's left. And then we're coming around to the ears now. So relaxing at the jaw and just massaging around the inside lines of the ears, going all over, getting a really good flush through the inside lines and giving a little bit of pressure where you feel like it might feel good, relaxing the jaw and gently pulling the ears away from the head. And then coming around into the occiput again, the very, very top of the spine, that little crevice space, massaging and lifting, feeling a sense of lengthening up there with your palms, and then taking the hands into the back of the head. Relax your head into your palms to feel a sense of length come through, letting the jaw and chin release. Rely on your hands drawing up, lengthening through your head, feeling that length through the neck, and then sweeping open and around. Feeling nice and long through the crown of the head. We're just going to use the eyes very gently to scan the room. So using the eyes to turn the head. Breathing through that. Feeling a connection from the base of the spine all the way up and out through the eyes. Once you get to the side, turn to the other side using your eyes very gently. While we're using the eyes, we're maintaining a sense of length through the spine and the crown of the head. So we're practicing engaging through a lengthened posture as we use our eyes and turn our head. And once you've gotten to this side, take another breath and then change to the other side. Breathing through it. Feeling now that your vision expands beyond the walls, beyond the space that you're in, looking through them, looking out wider, bigger, but very soft and gently relaxed internally, feeling nice and grounded and released inside. And one more time, letting the vision expand through the walls, looking out on your horizon, feeling a sense of connection from inside to the outside. And then letting the breath bring your eyes back through center. From the low belly, the dantian, we're going to take a deep breath in, be aware of the shoulders here and the neck, just keeping this space nice and open. As you inhale, we're going to draw the breath in and up as we squeeze the eyes. And exhale, gently opening the eyes, letting them blink a little bit to wash over, and then taking the hands around the eyes and just kind of flushing away any energetic cobwebs that are left there. And then we'll come around with the fingertips all around the skull, that nice tapping, vibration into the bones, breathing into it. And then coming around to the back of the head, sweeping up from the neck through the back of the head, feeling a sense of length there one more time. And using that length, we're gonna relax the arms and just using the eyes from side to side. We're gonna exhale. And as you're doing this, we're spotting from one side to the other. Feel your jaw let go. Feel the length from the back of your head. If you feel comfortable, increase the release of your breath and just shake it out with the breath letting go, keeping a little version of your spot, losing what you see through the center, gently letting that slow down and soften. And then we'll take our fingertips into the center front of the head, the suture sagittalis. We're just going to press down, pull apart, and release, breathing into it. Go back a little further, press down, pull apart, let go. And then right through the crown of the head, press down and apart and release, opening wide. Okay, so now we're going to come around. If you're using a chair, come around to bring your palms right on top of your seat. I'm going to show the floor first. So now on the floor, hands and knees, we're going to tuck the toes under and feel the breath from the spine flush down and out through the back of the leg. We're just gliding away and back, and then change. So your toes are tucking under and you're feeling a sense of length and release as you glide away. And now if you're using, so keep going if you're on the floor and using your chair, using your palms just to place right on top of the seat. And we're just going to take 1 foot back, drop your heel down, bending the front knee, and just breathe into that release of the calf and the heel. And then change. And gliding back, breathing. So your heel might not touch the floor, but you're shifting long through the hips, finding that space through the heel, and gliding back. You can try to go a little bit further if that feels good. And coming back in, and change, gliding back. And coming back in. And if you're on your chair here, come back onto your forearms, onto your elbows here. And we're just going to bend the knees and find a nice crease in the front of the hips and just hang your head and shoulders down for a nice stretch and release. You can bend your knees and stretch if you like. And if you're on the floor, we're going to push back, tucking the toes under, dropping the tail, hanging over the feet, and just bouncing the tail to the floor. And then we're going to just, everybody straighten through the legs. If you're on your chair, you can either use the seat or step back away from it to hang your spine over the legs. We're just going to breathe out and shake through the legs here, relaxing through the upper back and the neck. We're going to bend one knee and shift your body weight into the straight leg, breathing into that shift, exhale. Change, bending the other knee, sliding and shifting the body weight into the straight leg, breathing out. And change.
Bending the other knee and shifting, sliding your body weight into that hip and heel of the straight leg. One more time, bending the other knee, changing the bent knee, and shifting and sliding into the straight leg, hip, and heel. And then just hanging over through center, breathing out, feeling the breath come in and up through the belly and lifting the spine up, rolling up into a standing position by supporting inside, lifting, 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 feeling that your legs lengthen down and out, feeling the spine lift up out of the pelvis. So now from here, we're just going to do a little bit of standing and breathing. So we're going to find a nice feeling of openness through the lower back, nice and long, feeling your sacrum nice and wide and long, feeling your sit bones long and down, feeling them go together. Sit bones are coming together and down through the heels so that your tail can have some space to, your tail of your spine can move a little bit. So that's not, there's ligaments all around there, but we're freeing up the spine by connecting through the sits bones. So we're going to take fingertips into the low belly, find a nice sipping in and up. We want to feel the abdomen coordinate with the breath in and up along the spine as we sip, like we're lifting inside out of the pelvis. And we're going to exhale, breathe into the spine again. Little bend in the knees. Feel your tail go down and out along the floor. And breath brings you into length again, sipping. And exhale. One more time, using the sipping to bring you up. Feeling that connection from deep inside the base of the spine. And exhale. We're going to still use this connection as the arms float now. We're adding the arms. The sipping breath expands through the arms around and up now. Sustaining it, then exhale. And coming around again, sipping in and up. Really strong legs. Feeling nice and light through the chest. One more time, in and up. And exhale. Now we're going to finish off with our pumping breath that we've been working on a little bit. We're going to let the breath come in, floating the arms around and up. Expanding, feeling the length through the legs. Our fingertips are going to touch together, letting the arms gently lower down, turning the fingertips in towards you, relaxing the shoulders so the palms are rotated, heels of the hands are not touching most likely, relaxing through the shoulders. There's a little bend in the knees. We want to feel a pumping breath a little stronger through the abdomen
from the base of the spine through the dantian, pumping in and up. We're using the breath to strengthen through the lifting of the spine. It's like you're in and up, like there's a little ball, like if you're playing pinball or something, and that the air floats the ball up. You can think of that as a nice image here. So we're just going to breathe through the nose if you can. Feeling the tension let go in the shoulders as the strength builds down below. And take a long exhale. Keep breathing out, breathing out, breathing out through the base of the spine, letting that connection wind up. When you need to let the breath in, let the arms float up, breathe through the spine. And we're gonna just feel that long reach down through the legs, opening wide through the sternum to let the arms float open. And around and down, we're gonna bend the knees, draw your tail under. It's like somebody's pulling the tail under. We're gonna come in and up through the center. Breathe through the spine. Inhale, pushing the floor away. And exhale, open. Rounding the tail under to come around. And again, in and up through the center again. Strong legs down and up. And open, exhale. Rounding under. And again, in and up. And exhale, opening. And then just coming all the way up through center, gently lifting the shoulders and rounding them back, releasing, feeling that sense of length through the low back, really strong legs, but then letting that take you out into a nice walk, letting your body weight shift, feeling nice and long and open down through the back of the body, feeling some energy come in and up through the front of the body. So just feeling that you're shifting and releasing into the floor, feeling a connection from your spine. Excellent. Okay.